My name is Joe Webb. Today you're going to witness me in this very charismatic video plot a very short story, and I'm going to be using my recent Storyteller Deck to plot this story. Now, they're not finished, and I actually haven't used them to plot the story yet, so let's hope this goes well. And I actually haven't even got them all in front of me because I haven't actually finished them yet. So I'm using what I've got to print out. A few printouts that represent them. Now, I've wanted to do this for a very long time, to just sit and plot. One of the most successful videos on my channel is a video of me sitting plotting video, in particular a mystery. And everyone seems to really like that. And I can completely understand why, because there's only so much you can get from watching someone talk about writing stories and the theory, right? So this is something I've been wanting to do for ages. I just wanted to do regular videos in different atmospheres, you know, to get the atmospheric atmosphere going. Which is, I think, what writers really like, what storytellers really like to do, is get into the atmosphere of a different world. So let's just start. You're going to have to watch me try and understand my own creation that I've been working on for like 2 years. So let's see how it goes. I'm gonna use also these videos to help me understand. I wanted to do it when they were ready, but they're not going to be ready for a while. So let's just do it now while they're still being ready. Let's do it now. Okay, I'm also going to try and not edit this video as much as I can. Okay, where do we start? I have no existing ideas. Okay, so everyone, come in. Welcome to my atmospheric writing lair. Just get comfy and watch someone make fiction and then tell a story about it, maybe one day. Okay, where do I start? Do I start with the characters or the place? Let's not say characters, let's say people that I'm telling a story about. Do I start with the place? Do I start with the themes that I'd like to explore? When the cards are actually ready, I'm going to have a little switch. So as I see all the cards and lay them all out, the cards represent your ideas, right? Then I'll have a camera that will look down at the table so you can see my ideas on the table, which eventually, anyone who wants to use the cards, eventually they'll be for sale. Okay, I'm going to start with a truth that I know all too well. Everyone carries these truths, and I don't mean to sound bleak or miserable when I say this, but it's a truth that I carry, that I know all too well. And so I'm pretty damn good at writing stories about it. That truth is that everyone has a dark side. Everyone has an unpleasant side. Everyone has a side that will disappoint you or stress you out or something like that. It's human nature, you know. And you know, a lot of people, I used to have a very optimistic view about people, that most people would choose to be good, or selfless, or, you know, and then you grow up and you realize what people are really like. And it gets confusing between whether people are, if everyone's just a real bastard, or if there are bastards versus people who you care about and who care about you, but also have a dark side. You know, so I don't think I think it makes it easier for me to accept. But it can be quite shocking when you see that in people. And there's all these sorts of personalities that can emerge from people based on their attitude of life. You can see people be vicious or vindictive or selfish or a backstabber or unhinged or ruthless. And I think I'm going to go with ruthless. I'm going to go with a ruthless character. That's their dark side. A ruthless person. A person who has a ruthless side. We don't see that. We don't see that. So, yeah, I need to make sure that's still recording every now and again. So we don't see that until the very end or something. I don't know. We see it eventually. Okay, so what people do in life, and also what writers do when they make fiction to tell us a story, is they contemplate on things, on truths that they don't necessarily know the answer to. Sometimes people write as a sort of self-expression about what they know, and some people write as a sort of inquiry, like a philosophical inquiry. So it's not so much a personal expression, it's just an inquiry into truth, as if that's what I believed, or as if that was my experience, or as if that was a truth that I carry. So it's very inquisitive. But what people do in life is, when we have a difficult problem, like, I don't know, facing someone you, I don't know, let's say rely on in this case, someone you rely on, and you realize that they have this ruthless side, questions can pop up. Questions pop up with all of these problems that can happen in life. Sometimes questions pop up about the silence of the universe. Sometimes questions can pop up about, I don't know, the nature of conflict between people. But in this case, a question is going to pop up about maybe at what point should you turn your back on someone who has a dark side. All these questions pop up when you are faced with this sort of thing. Do I matter? Do I, at what point do I stop mattering? Are they someone who will go the lengths, or will they snap easily? And there's always a moment, there's always an experience when you see it. And so maybe that's the first thing that I can think of about the story. The first time that they see this ruthless side to this person, that they maybe didn't know that they had, or maybe they suspected. Because here's another thing, this is where I'll think of in a bit. There's always signs. There's always, in hindsight, there's always signs about anything that happens in real life, which means there's always signs with anything significant that happens in a story. Now, whether you notice those signs or not, it's a different matter. Sometimes I really hope this is recording. I really hope the sound's working. I really hope nothing goes wrong, because I'm quite liking this so far. I'm getting in the flow. So, in this case, I think they will notice the signs. Maybe they won't immediately, because there's different levels, isn't there? There's things that people pick up on, and maybe you don't quite know what to make of it, but there's things that people pick up on. But there's also signs that people don't pick up on. And so I can think about that too. Now, the video's only really so long, and it's the first video, so I'm not going to actually think of what they are. Maybe I can give some examples, like maybe it's something that they say, something that they do. Maybe it's something that they maybe saw or heard about the person. Maybe it's a look in their eye, because the thing about them is that they're particularly ruthless, right? So what I'm seeing in front of me, so I've got all of these cards. I've got the main personalities that emerge, and I've got lots of different cards that can ask me about it. And the signs are one of them. So yes, because they're a particularly ruthless person. Telling a story about people here. Because they're a particularly ruthless person, the signs that a person might pick up on earlier on in the story, that maybe they had a certain look, or maybe they made a certain decision that maybe makes you think, that's a bit harsh. What else have I got here? Wait. What else have I got here? Print is very, very small. Okay. Backstory. I can think about their backstory. Now, this is just one person, by the way. You can really see how these cards are going to really help you sort of flesh out these different things. Now, this is just the dark side of personalities. We've got all these sorts of things. We got places. We got we got lots of things. I got those two in front of me right now. But yes, backstory. We can think about what could cause this. What could cause someone to be so ruthless? What is their justification for it, perhaps rooted in their past? And now, when you look at your past, it's not just represented as things that are playing out like it is in the present. You actually look back and you see it differently. You see the meaning that it has on the now. So the meaning of the past would maybe be something like, the past caused grief, or the past caused pain, or the past caused confusion, or something like that. And we might think of events that maybe happened that leave those lingering sort of things. There's also conflict that can happen. Actually, sometimes people's dark personalities can get challenged. That's very, very, very interesting when you see that happen, when someone is particularly ruthless or selfish or dark or a backstabber or something like that, and you see someone challenge that. Oh, that's very interesting. I love seeing that sort of thing. So maybe we can have, maybe that can be something. Maybe there's someone else who's particularly feisty, and this ruthless person maybe meets their match. It's something that one of the best things, one of the things I love the most is when an ignorant personality type is challenged by someone who goes, "What if?" and they address the elephant in the room. What if? What if what you're not thinking of but you know is true is really true? Or chills. But no, that's not what we're looking at. Okay, and one of the things that I can think about is the moment that it happens. So the moment that you see this side, this ruthless side, the experience of shock, the things that lead up to it, and all of the things that obviously someone's going to be there to witness it. So there's two people involved, and I have to think about two people. Let's just think about the places that maybe this could take place in. Now we've got actual places like, I don't know, a cabin or I don't know, basement or a forest or hills or something. But we've also got types of places, like dangerous or spooky. Those are the more relevant ones. Those are the more interesting ones. Because places themselves, like a cabin or a forest, it's only the place in which it happens. And we can think about the atmosphere, which is very important. The atmosphere, especially if you're writing a film, if you're creating film, it's very important to get the atmosphere, the wind, the darkness, the spooky fog, the sounds. That immersion is part of the story, right? So to know where it takes place can help you think about the atmosphere. But if I want to think about what's more meaningful when thinking about the place, that really will also impact the moment when this person sees this dark side of the person. I want to think about the type of place it's going to take place in. Maybe a nostalgic place. Maybe, I don't know, let's just go with dangerous place at the moment. For fuck's sake. For fuck's sake! Oh, my light just went out. You know what? I'm going to end it here. If you particularly like this video, if you think that these sorts of videos would be useful, and I'd be able to do them very regularly, I'd be able to, I don't know, set up all the atmospheric stuff and go in different places. And I couldn't do it without this understanding that I've got. You know, I've built up this entire theory. It's a completely new way of looking at writing, of creating fiction and telling it as a story. I've said in previous videos, it's like a phenomenological sort of view. These here, it's just a very simple sort of drawing. But look, the way that we see the world, it's, we have like this map, and we map out all the aspects of our experience. And if you can understand it and break it down, what emerge are tangible representations of those ideas, which you can play around with in your own hands, like a storyteller deck. But also the ideas, like the questions that emerge from those ideas as well, which is something to contemplate. These if questions. And something I was going to go into was all of the questions, all the problems, because this is the big thing. This is the significant bit. The problem of what do you do when you see someone has a really awful dark side? What do you do with that? You have all these questions that pop up, like, would they do that to me? And if they did, at what point? That's something you can think about. How far can it go? Have I seen the extent of their ruthlessness? How far can it go? People have to deal with these questions. You can think about events, maybe later on, following this moment when you really see it. You can think about events that might answer those questions. How far could it go? Is that as far as have I really seen how ruthless they can be, or can they be even more ruthless? Okay, let's stop it here. Let me know if this works. If this video gets trillions of views, maybe I might get a proper light set up and do it more regularly. It's also especially going to be good when the cards are actually ready. There you go. I'm Joe Webb, the storyteller. The storyteller is what we all try to embody. So I'm not just the storyteller. We all embody this archetype of the storyteller. Very important figure to choose to play. So, see you next time.